Alright guys, you are watching my intro to Instagram masterclass for your business. I teach a Instagram class explaining everything in much more detail, but this is just to kind of give you an overview to help you out as we're going through this quarantine. Alright, if you're new to Instagram, it is a great platform to utilize finding clients and connecting with your audience to gain some revenue, not only during this time, but even when you're sleeping. You can have your profile working for you. There's 3 things that you need to know about Instagram. Number 1, it's controlled by a bot system. So it's actually not people in the background. It's generated by a computer system. Much similar to if you were to talk to text. So it categorizes everything from A to Z and places your profile and all of your photos into different filings of a cabinet, if you will. So the first thing that you need to do is fill out your entire bio. Now, for those of you that don't know, mine is the Western New Yorker. You can see it here. Please follow me if you guys are interested, and I will make sure to follow back and let me know that you've taken this class so we can interact and engage with each other on Instagram. Right by my name, you will see it says Lifestyle Travel Writer. Now, you want this field to be exactly what kind of business that you are using, because this particular section will not only hit on Instagram but also on Google. It is where Google pulls from Instagram the different profiles, and it also filters into where you are as a business. And my particular account is a business account. If you have a personal account, you can change it to a business account. That is up to you, but I highly recommend when you're filling out your profile that you put what kind of a business you are next to your name so that people can find you if they were just to search you in the search parameters. So if I were to type in lifestyle, it's going to pop up all of the lifestyle writers, bloggers, as you can see here. Travel. So anybody that's like trying to find lifestyle travel bloggers, and as you can see, look, I've actually posted here. So if somebody was looking for a lifestyle travel writer, I will pop up in this field. I'll also pop up for Western New Yorker, but for this particular example, I just want to show you that yes, it does hit on Instagram, but it also hits on Google. So make sure that you are in fact putting your business title, because that is where, if people are trying to search for you on Instagram or Google, they're going to find you. The next step to setting up your business profile, I highly suggest that you explain everything that you're going to cover. Now, very few people will actually read your bio maybe once the entire time that they're going to either follow or unfollow you. So you want to make sure that you are to the point and you're telling Instagram's bot what you are. So I'm a travel writer, content creator, Huffington Post contributor, certified food judge, and at the bottom I have a call to action and where I want you guys to click to go to my latest articles. Always have a call to action. This is a huge incentive to people. So if you have utilized the web page but you didn't put like little emojis that say, hey, click here, or for your latest articles, or where to purchase, click down below, clients are not going to know what to do. You always want to tell clients a call to action. So for my personal bio, I have little emojis pointing down, encouraging people to click the link for my latest articles. Now, another way that you can tell what kind of profile you have is if you go up and you leave out your bio and just look at your feed. Remember that Instagram is all visual learning. So if you're trying to sell to your clients, your photographs have to match the kind of business that you are. For instance, if you were looking at my profile, what could you say about my profile? As you can see, I travel, I have a son, so I cover lifestyle posts, traveling, and there's a little bit of product placement in there, so you can tell that I do some product ads and marketing. But for overall, it basically is exactly what I described it as in my bio. It is a lifestyle account that I travel and cover writing, and you can just kind of go down here. You'll see that it's all cohesive. If you can't tell what you're selling from your photographs, Instagram is not going to know where to put you. So this is extremely important, and you want to make sure that you have this all laid out. So if you're just starting out, it's okay. Just remember to utilize. Now, you don't necessarily have to always take pictures of your product. You can do what's called product placement. If you were to look at all of these photos that I have showing up right now, which ones would you consider product placement? I think you'd be surprised to know that 90% of the photos that you're looking at right now are all product placement, whether you thought they were or not. Now, if I were to click this one, you might even suggest that it's this ID Tech, and as you can see, it is a paid partnership with ID Tech, as you can tell. But what about this one? Does this one look like a paid partnership? No, not necessarily. However, this is helping one of my tourism boards that I did do some travel work for. So Watkins Glen area, I am tagging them, but it's not paid. Does that make sense? So I have worked with them in the past, and I'm just kind of sharing their area in this quarantine hard times right now. So it's a little bit of a nod to say thank you for working with me as the tourism industry is hurting right now. Again, here's another one that you can see, another area that we visited and worked with, Medieval Times, which we were going to go to, but our trip got canceled, but it will be a future sponsorship. So I'm just kind of letting my followers know what our plans are. So as you can see, just because it doesn't necessarily look like an ad, it could be considered an ad. So if you sell jewelry, for instance, that does not mean that you have to keep posting jewelry in just a laid out this frame. You can frame it in a product placement sort of way. There's all different ways to reach different clients. Remember, Instagram is super visual. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is the discovery page. A lot of people do not know how to utilize the discovery page, so this is worth going over if you are a business. If you go down to this little hourglass module here, you will see the discovery page. The things that are hitting on popular posts here are the most popular, that's getting most engagement and reactions and likes and follows at this moment. So if I were to refresh, sometimes it changes, and it did. So this is going to be ever changing, and this is what you want to hit on. You want to hit the discovery page because this is controlled also by Google. All right. So if you have an Instagram account and you are wondering where Instagram puts you, this is a great way to find out what Instagram thinks that you are or thinks your business is. And there's a way to filter it out if you've made a mistake and it's not the right thing. So if you were to look at this, for me, I am a travel writer with lifestyle posts. So as you can see, I've got some travel posts here. There's some family posts here. So this pretty much goes exactly with what my business is. So I've done a really good job at utilizing what my area of Instagram is, what I contribute. Instagram kind of knows. Now, for instance, if I had a beauty, this ring here, or if I had some nails, then I'm interacting or following somebody that does nails that doesn't really meet with my particular brand and business. So I probably want to unfollow them, or I don't want to be searching or liking that kind of thing because that is not what my business is doing. So if you're just starting out, you want to find a tribe that is similar to your niche so that way you can be filtered into Instagram properly. The more that you have narrowed down what kind of niche you are and what kind of business you are, the more Instagram is going to know where to put you. Okay, so as we hit on the discovery, remember, there's also a thing called hashtags. How many people like hashtags? How many people don't like hashtags? I would say the majority of you use hashtags, but you may not know what you're supposed to be using them for. I always encourage people to make their own Instagram hashtag. Now, there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, you can always hit in the top block of 9. As you see the 9 photos here, there's a couple more, but here's the block of 9. Anytime you search a hashtag, you're going to see the top block of 9. These are the most popular people in that particular hashtag. And if you hit in the block of 9 for long periods of time, your photo will actually move up in people's feed and you'll be able to see more people. So I use the hashtag strategy of 777. In Instagram, you can actually use 30 hashtags. I suggest that you use 21, and the reason being, this tells Instagram that you're not a spam account and you really, really, really want your photo to be categorized in the right places so you meet the right clientele and the right business opportunities. For instance, I can show you an example of what happens when you don't use the right hashtags and when you do use them correctly. This was an ad for American Greeting, and I used just the hashtags that the client wanted me to use. There's 5 hashtags here, and I didn't really hit on a single one of them. Now, my photos look pretty fine, there's nothing wrong with them, but it just didn't do as good as I would have hoped. Now, sometimes this happens because like the brand doesn't want you to use certain hashtags, or you just haven't found the right hashtags. But if you can look in your post insights, if you go down to from hashtags, you see only 63 people saw this post through those hashtags. Now you may think, okay, 63 people is a lot of people. But again, if you looked in the post insights, you'll see that no actions were taken. So it didn't have any conversion rate or anything like that. So this post just did not do very well. Another example would be this post that was actually promoted, but again, the reach on hashtags wasn't very good. It was 81, so it wasn't a very good click to buy post. Let me go to this one, for instance. If we were to view this post insights, you're going to find what happens when you use the correct hashtags using my 777 hashtag strategy. Okay, as you can see, 5,545 people were reached by this, and 4,500 of those were by the hashtags that I used. This is an example of what it's like to actually use the right 777 hashtag strategy, and I got 54 clicks through this. So this was a good ad. This was a good photo. This reached a lot of people. I just need to work on my call to action because I only got 1,045 likes. But again, the likes are important so much as the click over conversion rate. Another good example would be this one. If you looked in this post insight, you'll see that my hashtags were almost 2,000. So this one did well as well. Again, 14 click conversion rates, but 14 sales is 14 sales, okay? It's better than the 0 that we saw earlier. Okay, how did I do that? Now, my 777 strategy is, and I go over this in grave detail in my master Instagram class, but I just want to cover it really quickly in this little intro class to get you guys an idea of what to do. When you're picking hashtags, I suggest that you pick lower hashtags so that you're going to hit on the popular marks. You're going to want to use hashtags 7 that are the location of your photo. So if you looked at the hashtags that I used here, I'm talking about New York because that is where this photo was captured. It's in New York. So I used 7 hashtags that were considered for New York, 7 hashtags that had to do with something the actual photo is. Now I actually did my research and I looked at different hashtags. This is a vineyard, outside patio set, a vineyard in New York. These are all things that describe this photo, and it tells Instagram where it should go and other like photos similar to it. So I don't just want hashtags that are low and can be turned over, right? I want hashtags that actually describe the photo that you're looking at so it knows where to put you. So vineyards, if I were to hit the vineyard hashtag, what am I going to see? I'm going to see vineyards. So as long as the block of 9 has mostly vineyards, I have a high chance of hitting in the top 9. Now this particular one I probably wouldn't have always gathered. It's got over 30,000 posts to it, meaning it's pretty popular. If you're just starting out, I would suggest somewhere between the 1,000 and under up to 5,000 range. You only want 7, so you kind of like pick different ones. That's why I always suggest that you use your own hashtag because as you can see, I only have 100 posts. Okay? What does this do? Now, when you use a hashtag that's smaller and you hit in the block of 9, remember, you're going to be upping your photo in people's feeds, okay? As your hashtag gets more popular, people that are searching your area are going to see it. Now, in this case, I have 100 plus posts, and out of the 9 that you see here, only 1, this one right here, is not mine. All the other ones are mine, meaning this hashtag is starting to become popular and people are starting to use it, which means I'm going to show up not only in my feed higher, but in their feed as well. So as you can see, scroll down, a lot of these photos are mine, but other people are using them. That's why it's so important to find the right hashtag. That's why it's so important to start your own hashtag. So if I were to do spring into New York, let's see if there's any in here. See, if I had a photo that was spring related, it would hit in this block of 9. So if I had like a landscape, this would be a perfect hashtag to use. I hope that makes sense. Again, if you are interested in my masterclass, you can just hit the link after this video because I go into depth explaining how to use hashtags, why we use certain hashtags, what hashtags work, what hashtags don't work, and also what hashtags are banned. Okay, let's talk about your caption, because now we've talked about hashtags and your photography and where it goes on Instagram. Always, 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 always ask your clients, followers a question. Sometimes I ask several questions. Why? Because I'm encouraging engagement. Instagram goes off of engagement. Every single person that comments, likes, or shares your post is going to move you up in their feed. So these all things are working together to find your target audience, and you want them to be asking questions. So as you can see, I have followers who are answering my question, and then I will be going ahead and responding. A lot of times I ask them questions as well. As you can see right here, I had somebody answer that they are going to go to HomeSense after the quarantine's over with. I commented back and I asked them a question, so then they went ahead and started talking to me again. We are creating a conversation. Instagram is looking for you to keep people on their app as long as possible. So because it is a free service, you want to be utilizing their terms of service and making it so clients of yours are not only purchasing from them, but using Instagram as well. So the longer you can keep somebody on your profile, the longer you're going to be able to have brownie points on Instagram. You can keep people on there with carousel photos. You can keep people on there by responding to them. So every person that swipes over on this photo, for instance, stays on Instagram longer. And then my photo carousel will be higher up in people's feed. So just remember, ask a question, call to action. You also want to tell them what you're hoping for. Like if you're selling some sort of course or you're selling a product, in your caption, you might even want to call to action. Check out some of these awesome jewelry, or check out some of these awesome things that I've listed or that I've worn in my photo. Link in the bio. Always direct your clients and followers to a call to action. Okay, photos and hashtags. As I said, hashtags, I use the 777 method. I also could not stress this enough. If you are going to make a photo, I highly suggest you don't use any apps, because Instagram does not want bots. Oh my gosh, they have so many things about bots. You can lose your account if you use a bot that includes schedulers. So if you want a little trick that I do when I'm trying to research hashtags and get my photos edited and stuff, you can simply just save your draft. If I were to go to my thing like I was going to get something, I'm about to post this particular photo, and after this video, I'm actually going to post this video. But as you can see, everything's already filled out for me, including all of my captions, all of my tags, all of my alt text. Everything's already done for me. I've already edited out all the photos, but it's been saved on my phone. So if you're looking to create a post like this one, say I wanted to do this particular one, and I just kind of saved everything, but I'm not ready to post it yet. I need to maybe these hashtags just aren't working for me, so I need to go find some more. You can just hit the back button and it'll actually save your draft. It's a perfect way to schedule all of your posts, but then post them in real time. So you wake up in the morning, you want to post an Instagram, you can quickly just post the one that you've already edited and that's already ready for you. And you can get these all scheduled up for weeks in advance because they just save on your phone. That's what I do. I don't use a scheduling service because I don't want Instagram to think that I'm spam. Also, with your hashtags, same thing. You can't use, or you shouldn't use, hashtags over and over and over every single post that you do, because then Instagram is going to think that that's spam, and then those hashtags aren't going to work, so you don't want to do that. Another way that you can find hashtags and figure out where your photos should go on Instagram is having inspirational accounts to look at. Now, if I go to my saved, I have them all written in categories, and a lot of the clients that I've worked with in the past love this idea. I highly suggest it. Because I'm a travel writer, I'm always looking for travel. I have a little travel collection there. I post daily quotes on my Instagram, so I have all of the quotes saved that I'm going to screenshot and then tag fellow writers and stuff in the captions to not only give engagement to their account, but my account, because a lot of people like reading daily quotes. But I also have this thing called inspirational accounts. This is where you're going to find people that I personally find inspiring, whether they have great photography, great captions, or like a lot of their hashtags that may not necessarily work for me, but they'll point in the right direction of where I'm going. So if I had a photo of me sitting by a campfire, I would like to see what exactly she used for her hashtag in her caption to see what worked for her and what didn't, if that makes sense. I don't want you to copy people because obviously you don't know what's worked for them and what hasn't worked for them, but it's always good to have some inspirational accounts to see what they're doing. Another thing that you can do is client ideas. If you can see here, these are businesses that I would like to work with in the future and that I might be reaching out to. This is a great way for you to also find clients. If you're looking for your ideal follower or customer, you can go ahead and save their accounts and figure out what they are interested in, and then you can gear your content towards them so that maybe you're reaching them.